Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing an updated planner system video. So I know I've added multiple planners in the past, month? And so this video will go over everything that I use, how I use them, and essentially what I use every day, like why they're in my system and so on. So let's go ahead and jump right in to some things that just haven't changed and kind of go from there. So as you'll see in my weekly plan with me's, I have my Louis Vuitton large ring or jam agenda. This hasn't changed. So I still have my main schedule in here. My academic planner is in here. Home projects are in here. Finances, as well as goals, and then content. So again, still the main planner and everything. I use this planner every single day. I check it in the morning. I'll use a daily insert if I need something. I'll, check content, finances, whatever. I use this planner every single day. This is a staple in my planner system and I love it. And this is what you see all the plan with me's in. So this stays on my desk. Everything else is supplemental to this. So everything else is a branch of this planner. So this past month, I added the ROSIE wallet, a Chanel vintage agenda in the medium size and in the small size. So I've just loved the Chanel agendas. I've always wanted to add them to my collection. That's why I added them to my collection. And so I just try to find a purpose for them, right? And so I have separate setup videos on all of these, but I'm also doing I did an updated end of month flip for this. So I'll have the most recent flips of all of these planners linked below, but they're the most recent videos on my channel. So how am I using these? So this ROSIE wallet is my full length wallet, but I do have a Pocket Plus planner from Erin Condren in here. From Cloth and Paper in here, and this is my transaction log. This Chanel agenda, and I'll go over in a little bit more details, but I want to classify them first since there's so many, and I know there's so many. This is my budget planner. So I have the Cloth and Paper budget inserts in here, and so both of these are part of like my finance system. So we have that. And then in addition to that, this Chanel pocket agenda is more of like a lifestyle fun planner / reference planner. So we have that. And then we have, in terms of agendas, my Louis Vuitton small ring or PM agenda. And this is now my full travel planner. So we have that. So categorizing this more with like lifestyle. And then we have two other planners that I use every single day. So this Louis Vuitton agenda cover has my Hermes agenda refill, and this is my work planner. So I use this for work every single day. I have my calendar in here and then the Casa Vici task card system in here, so that way I can keep track of everything that I need for work. I break down all of my meetings and then use the times that I don't work for my to-do list for the day, and I've been loving this system. So this is my first work planner. And then when I was shopping with my sister-in-law, I found this adorable planner at Walmart for like $10. And I honestly just bought it because I thought it was cute. But I thought it'd be fun to also use. And this is where I'll write out things that I need to get done. So yes, I have my to-do list in this planner. But this is if I want to take notes on something, break something down. I'm an analyst, and so if I'm like building a report, there's definitely going to be like components that I need to add to it. So I'll put that in here. I'll also highlight different deadlines and things like that. So really this is just to break down tasks and like projects essentially. So I don't use this one every day, only when there's a lot that I need to like write down. So it's more of like a mix between a data notebook in addition to this, but I do use this one every single day because it has my schedule, it has my to-do list that I need, and then I'll just use this to break things down that need to be broken down. So these two just stay on my desk underneath my work computer section, and I only use those for work. And then we have the final two planners, which are my Erin Condren hourly life planner and then my Louis Vuitton medium ring agenda. So the Louis Vuitton medium ring agenda is somewhat more like just a notebook and like a little overview. So this one I actually somehow use every single day. So in here I just have like notes. I have these note inserts from Hobby Lobby that I just bought like packs of because they were just so cheap. And I'll write notes pretty much on content, but also if I'm like, you know, I've been listing things to sell, anything that I need to make lists of, this is like my notebook. And so I'll just come in here and write and make different notes. And I've really been loving that and keeping it pretty simple. In addition to that, I do have a tab system back here. I put the notes up front because these are somewhat larger than the tab, like the normal like insert length. So it was, I don't know, it was bothering me when it was like in the back. And I primarily use this as a notebook, so I just put this up front. And then the back has the tab system. And then this is really just for fun, to be completely honest. So kind of like a mix of a lifestyle planner. I do have a monthly overview in here, just in case I take this with me. I do think I'm going to switch the type of months. I think I want a month on 2 page for this planner. But I'll take this with whenever I like want to work on something. So I'll have my iPad mini and my medium ring. So it's nice to have the little overview in here. But yeah, I just like using it just for whatever like I want to like write out and write down. So again, very similar to a notebook. So a monthly overview in here. And then I also have like my content schedule. So again, everything else is an extension of that main planner. So in the main planner, I have like all the ideas and like whether it's filmed, and it kind of helps keep like track of the progress. And then here, it really just focuses on like what's actually scheduled out and what's going out when, if there's a collaboration, different things like that. And then I just have other inserts in here from like cloth and paper subscription boxes. And again, my cloth and paper subscription box is in the personal size, and all of those inserts that I get in those boxes will go in here just because that's what this planner is for. And so that is the medium ring. And that brings us to the hourly, which we have finance, budget, we have lifestyle, we have just, I'll call this tactical, but like notes and just, you know, regular plans and note taking. And so we have lifestyle, and then we just have general note taking and supplemental planning. And then since I started my courses back up from December, because we had our practicum the first part of this semester, so now I'm actually back into regular like subject-based classes. Like I'm in international business right now, studying. I now have to study more. And so whenever I need to study, that's when I always bring an hourly view back into my planner system, because I like being able to see when I need to study, when I can study, and it helps me with making plans. And so I've honestly also just been missing a coiled planner. I think y'all will hear that in these planner systems. I'll take it out when, you know, life's a little like, I don't have to worry about like studying and like juggling a lot of things. But you know when things are, and I think I've said this before too, now that I'm about to say this, you know things are getting hectic when I bring back in my hourly life planner, and specifically the hourly life planner, just because this is like my old reliable, right? And I've always, like, I started with this planner when I started the planner community. And so I always go back to it. But when I started the planner community, I was working full-time, a full-time grad student, then starting, you know, this content creation thing. And so when it's just creating content and working full-time, I typically, I don't know, I don't have a full need for an hourly view, but it's when that school mix comes in, because then it's juggling a lot. That's when I need my hourly view. And so that's, you can tell like how much coursework I have to, I feel like, based off of whether or not I'm using this. But something about this planner is because the life planner launch is coming up, and of course I'm going to get the new life planner. I did take an hourly life planner, and I just put it until June, because, you know, the new ones will start in July for the academic year. And I put it on a notebook coil from Erin Condren, and I love it because it's so compact and it's so nice. It fits easier on my planner cart, and I have like all the months that I need. But I've just been really loving this. So again, I'll have a full like video on how I'm using this and the setups and whatnot. But This is really just to help keep me in line, and I don't want to duplicate too much, right? Like when you use so many different planners, it can become very overwhelming, and y'all know I like go into a consolidation mode, especially after I do things like this. But you'll notice that you'll see like sticky notes in here, and that my focus is after I get off of work. So pretty much, and I've been using this for meal planning as well, but you'll notice that I'm not putting in work meetings or anything like that. And that's because I already have a work planner that has all of that. By making sure that I don't duplicate too many things, I'm not putting like, you know, the same thing in every single planner, because that gets overwhelming, because it defeats the purpose in a way. If you are trying to put the same thing right in like what 7 different planners, like that's already overwhelming. That's a full task. And so that's where when you're using multiple systems, it's kind of, you have to make sure that you know what the intent and the purpose of each planner that you're using is. Otherwise, your planner system does become overwhelming. And so this one is for meal planning. It's for tracking study times, appointments, anything date sensitive. And then I'll just put like random things in here too. Like if I like need a day full of errands, or like if I have appointments, I'm gonna put that in here because that's time sensitive, and I need to be able to like quickly come in here and see, okay, well, I have to do all of this, and I'm going to the groomers. Okay, oh, I have to grab groceries this day, and I'm studying. Like, it helps with making sure that I'm getting everything done that I need done. So that's where this planner comes in. So again, for every day, I reference the hourly, right? So again, overwhelming system. I have my hourly life planner that I use every day. So for example, the week I'm recording, I came in here and I checked, okay, I'm studying on Monday and Wednesday. Nothing else is planned. We have a concert this weekend, but I have no other plans. So now I know I can do all of my errands. I know when I can film content. I know if I can like go out to dinner with someone, because there's nothing else in this planner. And so I can make those plans, or if I want to do something beforehand, run an errand, etc., I'll put that in here. And then I for sure, of course, as I mentioned, use my GM because that's my main planner every single day. And then from there, I use my medium ring every single day, just because when I'm at my desk and I want to take notes, write something down, typically I've noticed that I work on content like a little bit every day just because I love doing it. And so I'll just write things out, or like different ideas, you know, try and track like when I want to do something. And so I think that's where this comes, because I'll write out like, you know, idea, like if I write the idea for a video in my GM, I'll come in, I'm like, write down everything else. If I'm, you know, doing a what's my bag video, I try and like write out everything that I know I keep in my bag, different things like that, just because it helps me. Or like I'm doing a hits and misses video soon, so I'm writing that out just so it helps with content. And especially when I do collaborations too, like I'll have all that information in here so that way I can reference it when I'm filming. So these 3 are definitely used every single day. When it comes to the finance planners, I have my ROSIE wallet, again with this Pocket Plus, and this is just my transaction log. And so I only use this when I need a card, but the planner I only use when I make a transaction. And I don't like just instantly come in here. I try and like, if I'm making transactions, go in like the night after or like the next day. So typically like within 1 to 2 days, to make sure that, you know, my budget's on like imbalance. And so I'll use this maybe like every other day if I'm making transactions. Like I didn't make too many transactions, I feel like this past week. Oh, I guess I did, but like not as much as I typically do. And so I think I just reconciled everything on this day because there was only a few things that I needed to like add in here. So I love this. It's really nice to help keep track of my spending. And then of course I have my budget system as well. And this is something that I use every paycheck. So I only use this a few times a month and I'll reference it if needed. But for the most part, if I'm not budgeting, I'm not using this because there's no need for me to use it. It serves its purpose and I love that. And so I know a lot of planners can look overwhelming. Don't feel the need if you're like setting a planner for budgeting, for example, to use it every day if you don't need to use it every day. I think that sometimes where I get overwhelmed, like, oh, well, I haven't touched that planner in like, you know, a week. if you didn't need to touch the planner, you didn't need to touch the planner. It's okay. So we have those. And then again, the travel planner. These are more reference planners. Like, essentially, these are all, I would guess, maybe not these two, but these two are reference planners, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I finally just made this my travel planner, and so I have my passport in here, my old one that's expired, but that way I wouldn't lose it, and so I know how the fit works. And then the Louis Vuitton agenda inserts in here, and that way I can travel plan and itinerary plan on these, so I don't need to get additional inserts because I have the dated versions. And so I have those in here for 3 months. I have the packing list from Cloth and Paper, and then just general notes. So I'll take this with whenever I travel. I'll keep it in my keep all, and that's the purpose of this planner. I don't need to try and, again, force myself to use it. If I'm not going to use this for another 2 months, I'm not going to use it for another 2 months, but it's serving its purpose because when I do need it, I have it, it's ready to go. I'll probably start my packing list soon, so I don't have to worry about that. But, you know, it's ready to go, and I have a travel planner, a dedicated travel planner that I can store things on. I have my COVID vaccine card in here somewhere too, I believe, but I don't know if you need those anymore. But also when I travel, I can just put my cards in here too if I want and have everything all in one place. I can reference any like reservation numbers or anything like that in here. So this is my travel planner. And then this one is really just a fun little lifestyle. I just really wanted this planner, and so I just put like fun things in here. So we have like a capsule wardrobe that will fill out in a different video. I'll put my wish list in here, and then I have these travel inserts, which are like aspirations, like where you want to go. Again, I'll do that in a separate video. And then I think I'm going to archive packing lists in here to go along with that travel and lifestyle element, because for the most part I take the same things. And like, for example, when I travel for school, it's a similar packing list each time. So, or like weekend trips. And so I might just start keeping some in here. So that way, if I can reuse a packing list, I'll just put it in there. And then we just have general notes for fun. So yeah, is it a lot of planners? Absolutely. I know it's a lot of planners, but again, I've also just wanted these planners just to have because I love Louis Vuitton. I love Chanel. Again, I've always wanted these agendas, and so if I'm gonna find them, like I want another Chanel agenda. They have like the lambskin quilted version. Like I want to add that to my collection, and so I'll find like a use for it. Like if anything, I can just, you know, keep the Louis Vuitton as my notebook and then put these in that agenda whenever I get it, or just find another use for it that will work for me at that time. And if I want to switch it up, I'll switch it up. But yeah, this is the planner system, if you will. I know it can get a little confusing when y'all are seeing changes, but as y'all know, things also change pretty frequently. So it's, if I need to change one of these planners to fit and need, I'm gonna do it, and then I'll try and update y'all as like soon as possible. But I really like this, and having like dedicated planners for things, I actually really like the concept of that. Like especially now that I finally made this into a travel agenda, I was just so focused on like wanting to use it again like every day or at least once a week, and then I realized like I'm gonna have this piece, and I don't plan on selling any of my agendas. So what's the need for applying pressure to use a planner that I don't need? And so I think too, since I have so many planners now, I can have dedicated, like I can have a dedicated budget planner. I can have a dedicated travel planner, and I still have planners in use to like do whatever I want with. So yeah, that is the planner system and a little background, and that is going to be it for this video. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to let me know. The best planner system is the planner system that works for you, and it's okay if you change it. I can't emphasize that enough. I know I get a lot of like people who, you know, they don't want to change their planner throughout the year, but if your life is changing throughout the year, you might need to. Or you can adapt it in different ways to make it work for you. But I'm not afraid to change things around. Y'all know that. Especially if it's going to help me with everything that I have going on. So yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.